Ken Whiting with Paddle TV on my mission to get more people outdoors and make sure that those experiences are as enjoyable as possible. And a big part of that is being comfortable when you're just outside or on the water. And so the piece of gear that I'm reviewing today, the NRS Axiom DRYSUIT, is designed specifically to do that, to make it comfortable to paddle, but not just make it comfortable to paddle when it's cold, to make it safe to paddle when it's cold. And that's the purpose of a dry suit, because when the air temperature and the water temperature start to drop, then hypothermia is a real concern. What you're wearing on the water isn't just a matter of comfort, it's a matter of safety. And honestly, too many people die every year from not wearing the right gear in cold conditions. Because when things go wrong, things can go very wrong and hypothermia can set in very quick. And so you have to dress appropriately. The easiest way, the cheapest way to dress appropriately when things are cold is a wetsuit. A wetsuit is great defense from the cold, whether you're out of the water or in the water. But it's not the most comfortable piece of gear. And that's why I prefer not to use them. But the next step up is much more comfortable. It's a dry suit, and it's also more expensive. And the NRS Axiom dry suit is what I'm reviewing today. This dry suit from NRS, it's their Mac Daddy dry suit. It's not just their Mac Daddy dry suit. This is a beautiful piece of gear. It's a kind of piece of gear, to be honest, I don't even want to put it in my gear bag before or after I'm done. This deserves like a spot like the bat suit in the bat cave. It needs a special place for it where it hangs up over a mannequin with bulging biceps and stuff. Yeah, I gotta find a place for this thing. But anyway, let me tell you a bit more about the Axiom dry suit. The NRS Axiom dry suit is made with 3-layer Gore-Tex Pro for the ultimate in durability, waterproof, windproof, breathable performance. It has a front entry YKK Aquaseal zipper with a protective flap. It has latex neck and wrist gaskets that are protected with overcuffs that have drain holes too. It has a 5-inch wide neoprene waist overskirt to fit over your spray skirt. It has a Cordura panel at the interior of the ankle for abrasion resistance, a splash-proof zippered chest pocket, a relief zipper, and integrated Gore-Tex fabric socks. Well, if I was reviewing the Axiom for its looks, this thing would get top marks, but I'm not. When you spend the money that you're required to spend to get a dry suit, not to mention a premium dry suit, it better fit well and it better work well. And so I'm gonna test this thing the best way that I know how, and that means going for a surf session on the good old Ottawa River. And I'm actually going to get to test out a new boat too, a new whitewater kayak that's kind of a river runner play boat, the PYRANHA OZONE. So here we go. Tested. Now let me tell you what I think of the Axiom dry suit. But first, I gotta take my skirt off. All right, so now let's talk about the NRS Axiom dry suit. Now, any dry suit is probably going to be the biggest investment in paddling gear that you make, and the Axiom is no different. It retails for $12.95 US. That's a lot of money, and so it's worth taking the time to really go through it so when you're looking to purchase a dry suit, you get the right one. You know, let's look at this thing, head to toe, or toe to head in this case. We'll start at the feet. Ew. The feet of the Axiom has an integrated sock, and like the rest of the suit, it's made with the Gore-Tex Pro fabric, which waterproof, breathable, all that good stuff. There's plenty of room in here. Now I have size 10 feet, and you can see that there's extra room in there. I've got size 10 in wide feet. That's nice. I like to have extra room in the foot area of my dry suit, because when it's really cold, which it isn't right now, I can wear layers underneath here, socks or what have you. I can also kind of adjust the fit by where my foot is when I put the booties on. And I'll talk more about size and fit a bit later on. But anyway, there is ample room in the sock unless you have massive feet. What I do like about the integrated sock is it goes right up to upper calf. I mean, I think obviously NRS did this because they know that people who like to wear long booties in particular. I'd say that most of the time when I'm wearing a dry suit, I'm wearing NRS's the boundary boots. They're a neoprene boot, waterproof neoprene boot that goes right up to there. And if a dry suit doesn't have the sock up high enough, then you end up getting bunching. So if you like a long neoprene boot or any kind of long boot, which is great for cold conditions, that's awesome to have the sock go up that high. This cuff then rolls down, and it's got elastic on it with silicone, which helps keep it down there, which is nice. Reinforced with Cordura on the inside, where you're going to get a lot of wear and tear, but in general, I mean, this material, it just feels like it's going to last a long time, which of course you want and expect from a dry suit. This is a lifetime purchase, and that's what I call a lifetime purchase. This should be with you for years and years and years and years. Now, going right up, the knee area, it's a little bit reinforced, but really it's just the fabric. It doesn't feel bulky anywhere around here, which is nice. Not much to say, I mean, until you get up to the key area, the relief zipper. Tested on the water or off the water during my tests. And you know what? If you're gonna spend the amount of money that you spend on a dry suit, get one with a relief zipper. Now the women's model has a drop pant, a zipper in the back. For saving whatever you save by getting a dry suit that doesn't have that, oh my gosh, you're gonna cause yourself so much grief. It'll be like one paddling trip where you'll say, why didn't I spend the extra money? You're gonna sell that dry suit and buy one that has it. Now, moving up, the skirt overlap here. This is double tunnel. Your skirt goes underneath here. This goes over top, cinches down. Nothing special or revolutionary there. Just a nice feature. This is really obviously for kayakers who wear skirts. It's not big or bulky. So if you're not a kayaker, if you're using this for canoeing or stand-up paddling or anything else, it doesn't matter. It's not something you're going to use, but it's not in the way or anything. Now, the front zipper style is great. A lot of dry tops have a back zipper across the top or right across the back, and those, it's almost a circus act getting in and out of them. Oftentimes you need the help of someone to deal with the zipper. That's not the case with this one. I mean, no dry suit zipper is simple to put on and off, but this one is pretty darn straightforward. Now, the zipper is the YKK Aquaseal zipper. It's a plastic zipper, so it's not going to rust if you're using it in salt water in particular over time. That used to be a problem. This has become pretty standard on quality dry suits. So it's pretty darn easy to zip open and closed. Going right up, it's got a pocket which holds things like mics. You probably don't have one of those in your pocket. But it's just a nice feature. You can get at it when it's accessible when you're wearing your life jacket. I mean, that's pretty common practice for any paddling top, is making sure the zippers are accessible when you're wearing a life jacket. Now, going right up to the top, the gaskets. This thing has gaskets at the wrists, of course, and at the neck. Now, the gaskets right out of the gate, for me, they fit pretty well. They're a little snug, but that's what you want. You want them to be a little snug because they are going to stretch over a very short period of time. You don't want to put it on and go, oh, it's a little snug, and start cutting them right away, because when they do stretch, you're going to have it too loose. This is actually some of the most difficult conditions to dress for, because the water, it's fall. We're just getting into fall, and the air is cold. It's a cool day, but the water's still beautifully warm. And so it's hard to regulate your temperature. And that's also why it was a great way to test a dry suit that's supposed to deliver breathability. I'm working hard. I was working hard out there, paddling in the whitewater and surfing the waves, but I felt comfortable the whole time. I never felt like, oh my gosh, this heat is trapped in here and my temperature was just varying greatly. I was just, you know what? I think the best testament to it was the fact that I didn't even really notice it. It wasn't an issue. I wasn't thinking hot. I wasn't thinking cold. I was just comfortable the whole time. And that's really all I can say. It's going to take more time to really identify whether the extra expense for the Gore-Tex Pro fabric, how much of a difference it makes. But that with that first test and not noticing a difference in body temperature, just being comfortable the whole time, well, that's the ultimate goal. So I guess success. But again, when I go back to like the relief zipper, you're making such a big investment, and this is a lifetime purchase. This is something that should be with you for maybe not ever, but I mean, at least a decade, if not 2 decades, if you take care of it. And so spending an extra $100, couple hundred, or $100 or $200 to get the premium, the best fabric possible, well, if you can do it, why not? Because you amortize that over 10 years, 20 years, well, that extra $200 is not that much. That's $20 a year to have the primo dry suit. So, last thing to talk about, fit. This is an XL. I'm 6'2". I'm long in the arms. I'm longer than most people, 6'2" people in the arms. I don't have a wingspan, a specific one for you. And I'm long in the legs. I'm a solid 34 inches. And so length oftentimes is a problem for me. Even though I'm only 200 pounds, XL sometimes can feel a little baggy, but I need it for the length. Now, I almost feel like I'm a perfect size for this dry suit at the height that I am. If I was too much longer in the leg, when I was in the kayak, I feel like it might have start to get tight on me when I was leaning forward. It didn't feel that way yet, but I felt like it was going to be close. So anyone taller than 6'2" or longer, 6'3", then you might need a bigger dry suit than the XL. I already talked about the foot size, which there's room there, no problem there. In general, though, for someone my size, I'm a 200 pounder. I'm not a huge guy, but I'm not a small guy. There's plenty of room in here to wear some nice, heavy, insulating layers. So, but it doesn't feel like overwhelmingly baggy either with the light layers I have underneath. So I really like the spacing. If you were a big dude, then you might, if you're wearing a bunch of layers, you might feel like, a little restricted, but I think you'd have to be pretty big around the waist for that to come into play. You can see, though, because of my length, this is where I had the cuffs the whole time I was paddling, and the gaskets, they are below my wrist bones, which is where you want them anyway. That's the most comfortable thing. And the cuffs were, they're below the wrist bone. And so if I try to pull them up any further, I know I would start to feel like I was being restricted when I started moving and twisting my body around. But for me, perfect, at my height. Any bigger than me, you might need to size up a little. So there you have it. 2 big thumbs up for the NRS Axiom DRYSUIT. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review and found it helpful. If you have found it helpful, then please leave a comment and let me know. And if it's helped your buying decisions in any way, let me know. And otherwise, I'll see you again soon for some type of paddling tip, paddling gear review, paddling adventure, anything that fulfills really my mission of helping people get outdoors on the water and make sure that those experiences are great experiences. We'll see you again soon.